It's very hard to just get information from these ad platforms. And this is why I stress in Mastering Funnels, week number 1 is setting up your funnel, your architecture in the right way. And then there's something in week 2, we talk about conversions. So conversion is the effect or the KPI. That's marketing speak for key performance indicator. Think of this. What's the one thing that you need to grow your business? Let's say it's booked phone calls. So in your Google Analytics, you're going to create a conversion, and the conversion is based upon somebody who's actually booked a phone call. That's what you're trying to get. So what you're going to do is when you start running your TikTok ads or YouTube ads or whatever, in this case, it is TikTok, you're going to attach a string, and this is week 3 in Mastering Funnels, something called a UTM. That UTM connects the click all the way down to that conversion. That gives you your ROI. You know, there's going to be a lot of places where you're going to get your ROI, but you might not be able to track it. And if you're running ads online, you should be able to track absolutely as much as possible, because that's going to really allow you to spend more money on the campaigns that are the most effective. So do TikTok ads have a positive ROI? Yes, they can, but you won't know it unless you've set up your conversions and everything that I preach and teach in Mastering Funnels. Again, here's a plug for it. 14-day money-back guarantee. There's absolutely no risk to you in order to get this started. You can get through Mastering Funnels in 5 weeks or less. You can have a full stack marketing funnel running with tracking, retargeting, inbound, split testing, everything in 5 weeks or less. And I think I'm very proud of this. Now, I'm going to get to why and how I built this Mastering Funnels framework here, but I have one more question. How much does it cost to run a TikTok ad campaign? You know, they say it is a $50 minimum. If you're running a CBO campaign on TikTok, it is going to be a $50 minimum. But if you're running a ABO, which means that the ad budget is set at the ad set level, you can get away with $20 a day. So if you can afford $20 a day in your advertising, that is the minimum that TikTok will take from you. Now, I do find there's differences between CBO and ABO. And again, that's kind of the stuff that we talk about in our coaching and what's better to be using. But yeah, $20 is the answer to that question. So thank you for that question, Facebook user. I can't see who you are, unfortunately. And then speaking of on TikTok, thank you for that question on the TikTok ROI. So one of the questions though that I wanted to talk about, or one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, there's not a ton of time, so I might kind of have to hustle through this. Last week, I kind of talked about where my journey started, as I used to be an elementary school teacher, hopped out of that, did about everything that I could in internet marketing, failed miserably at it, was really stressed out, was having a really, really hard time. Hey guys, thanks for joining. And then what I realized in time was just this importance of proof. And that's kind of what I learned in this client, my first major client over in Japan. I learned how to track what I was doing, how to prove what I was doing. And it was the piece was that I was missing that I talked about last week was the ability to close the loop. So everything that I just told you about how to get your ROI from TikTok, that is exactly the process in Mastering Funnels that I learned. So I learned this process on this client, which I'm about to tell you. So I came to a client who was running ads online, and they have a really good offer, right? It is a 6-figure offer. They supply some equipment to other businesses who are trying to grow up their own business. I'm trying to be vague here. So it's a 6-figure sale most of the time for each of these sales. And so it made a lot of sense to them to have a marketing funnel, how to have some inbound ads. What they didn't have in place was, one, somebody looking at this, right? So they have a good offer, they have a good established business, they have tons of people who are raving about them, but they just didn't master how to bring people in with intent. And so what I did for them is we did really 3 main things as far as ads are concerned. And that was Google search ads, because people looking for this specific equipment. We did a Facebook ad that highlighted their product and or products, because there's multiple products. And then the third one was YouTube ads. And so the YouTube ads was a little bit harder just because there wasn't as much intent. And I honestly didn't have as much experience in YouTube back then. So what was missing though was this loop. The pixels were missing, so retargeting pixels. So they were driving people into their website with some Google search ads. That was running before I jumped on. And they were just kind of, the keywords weren't really organized. There was no on-page SEO. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense. It was just kind of done. It wasn't done poorly. I would say, but it just wasn't managed daily by somebody who needed to get in there and look at things every single day and optimize them. So what I did was I jumped in. And this was the first client where I had the opportunity to do everything. We're talking Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, Facebook ads, and search ads. So I found the search ads that worked. You bet. Hey, thanks for hopping into this. So I found the search terms that worked, that people were coming to the website and spending the most time on and actually filling out a request for a quote. And then we optimized our pages around that. We did keyword updating on the website. And then slowly but surely, as we drove traffic in from Google search ads to these pages, people stayed on page. And that's one of the most important things in SEO is people staying on the page. So when people stayed on the page, this business starts to move up the ranking. And if you're running Google search ads for that specific keyword, that just moves you up further and further and further. So it's a really good way to grow your SEO and to decrease your cost per click. That's a solid way of doing it. But the other opportunity that I had was setting up Tag Manager and setting up these retargeting pixels. You see, before I had arrived, they were running ads, driving people to their website. But then as soon as those people left, they weren't staying in front of them at all. So think about how much money is being wasted by driving interested people to a website, but as soon as they leave, you're not staying in front of them. And so that is where I sort of cut my teeth on retargeting as well. And I've learned this really good hack for Facebook boosted posts. Then, most of the time people think about Facebook boosted posts and it's an absolute waste of money, which I agree it can be. But there's also these things within all ad platforms that can just be leveraged like nobody's business. And that's exactly what we did. So I took this one ad and I turned it into a post. And then I ran that at the top of the funnel, I ran it at the middle of the funnel, and I ran it at the bottom of the funnel. And I ran it to existing customers. Well, the people who were existing customers showered love onto that post, talked about how great this company was. The people who were about ready to buy or getting interested could see those comments, and then they found that very appealing. And then the people who was the very first contact with this business, well, then that was social proof. So what I learned then was this importance of social proof. And the thing is, we just followed the ROI because we had it all set up. We had it built in analytics. We had the ROI there. We had UTM tracking, so we knew our ROI. So we spend, I don't know what our ad spend was the first month, whether it was 3,000 or 4,000. I don't remember. This was a couple years ago, but we just kept spending more and more and more and more. And by the end of the year, we had taken this business who had revenued $14 million the year before, and we took them to $24 million in just 1 year. Their leads were up 33%. The quality of those leads were greatly improved, and the cost per lead was lower. So cost per lead lower, more leads, and the leads were better. So that's like the winning combo of how to scale a business. And that was my first 8-figure funnel for a client. I've gone on to help one other client build an 8-figure funnel, helped clients do multiple clients do 7-figure funnels, and then multiple clients and partners do 6-figure funnels as well. Okay, I'm running out of time. I'm learning that I need to take a little bit more time for all of these, but I need to get to a few questions here because I don't think I'm going to have time to get to all of them. Let's go to this one. This one is, how important is artificial intelligence in funnels, metrics, marketing, etc.? So how important is artificial intelligence? So this is a good question, but I think it is, if you are early to the game of funnels, it's not really that important. So what is the artificial intelligence? Well, the artificial intelligence is this ad platform, be it Facebook, be it TikTok, be it YouTube. They are better at finding people who are interested in your offer than you are, right? If we all had, 10 marketers and our brain power combined, it is not going to be as effective as these ad platform algorithms. So how do you teach an algorithm what you want? Well, you can't really go out and rely on an algorithm right away, starting off the bat. And this is the importance, plug again, for Mastering Funnels, Module 2, this is all about conversions. So a conversion is, again, the thing that we want people to do when they're on their website. Maybe it's book a phone call, maybe it's schedule a demo, maybe it's buy something, right? What we're doing is we're doing that for 2 reasons. The first reason is so that we know our ROI. The second reason is so that we feed the ad platform that information saying, hey, this click that came from this campaign and this ad group and this ad actually led to this conversion. Go find more people like this. So that's when this machine learning really gets activated. Now, it's a little bit harder to activate this. There's something called the learning phase on these ad platforms. And what you need to do is get 50 of these conversions within 1 week, and then the machine learning really starts working for you. So step one, you have to have a thank you page or something like it where this conversion takes place. Step two is you have to send that custom conversion back to these ad platforms. And step three, you have to get this moving quickly. So if you don't have a lot of ad budget, I would say artificial intelligence isn't going to help you a whole lot when it comes to leveraging this machine learning or this AI on platforms. Sure, we would love to, but it's just not the spot where we're probably going to be right away. So next, once it is in place, though, it is magical, right? This is where these ad platforms just absolutely shine, whether you like them or not. I've got my issues with some of these ad platforms, right? And just how easily people lose their money, and how it's kind of, man, it's designed to take your money. If you log into these ad platforms and you're a noob, good luck. Kiss your money goodbye. I mean, if you somehow manage to make an ROI on your first time in ads, good for you. What I would always do is hop into coaching, hop into a course. It doesn't have to be mine. Go to YouTube. I'd suggest mine because I've been there. I've done it. Again, spent millions of dollars in ad spend, help businesses at this point revenue over $50 million. So I know that my method works. No, you don't have to use my method, but follow somebody who knows what they're doing. When I first got out, I bought courses. I went to seminars because I needed to learn how to do this. One, because I have a high moral conviction that these people are giving me their ad spend for me to make good use of it. But two, I also just wanted to see success. I don't want to be some really high moral, upstanding fella who just tanks their ad spend. I actually want to get results with it too. So circling back, yes, artificial intelligence is very important, but it's probably not going to benefit you early on. But if you want to start training the ad platforms, you have to use conversions. And again, Mastering Funnels week 2 covers exactly how to do that. But you need to follow a method. And that's why I talk about an architecture in week 1 and how to set up those endpoints for your funnel. Because essentially all you're trying to do is just create this click, create this endpoint, and create a feedback mechanism that's just going to really, really ramp up your production for your leads. Now, I probably only have time for one more question. Let's see. What do you usually use as lead magnets in your funnel? So this is a really interesting question. So personally, we don't do a whole lot of lead magnets. I've run ebooks before. We have ebooks. The 2 lead magnets that we use, I would say, is a free training, because I think that that's the most valuable. I think giving somebody a free training, and ours is about 70 minutes long. I think that's absolutely the best sort of way to, one, benefit the viewer or benefit the potential customer, because they're learning. But then at the same time, what they're doing is they're deciding if I am right for them. There's something to be said for leads, and there's something to be said for, like, you've heard of lead gen and demand gen, right? Leads are great, but all leads aren't ready to buy at the moment. Maybe they never will be. So we want to extract the people that are ready to buy or ready to take action. And I do think like a video sales letter or a value video or a webinar in this case is a really good way to do that. But I've also done ebooks. And then I've also have a $27 mini workshop, which is about, I think it's like 2 hours. I think it's 90 minutes, that walks somebody through how to do kind of set up their analytics and then set up the retargeting. And so what that does for $27 is I have taught this person an invaluable skill set for them to grow their business. And so I think what it comes down to is what is the best lead magnet is, like, where can you provide the most value for your customer? Where can you just shower, or just, I've used shower a couple of times. I'm not going to use shower anymore. Where can you just provide as much value as possible for these people to help them, get to that next point, and then establish you as an authority, and then ultimately, give yourself trust. So, all right, we've got another question in the chat. How much do sales funnels cost? That's a good question. I don't know what specifically what you mean by that. So a sales funnel is typically just this logic logical sequence of what somebody wants to do when they're online. So a logical sequence meaning they see an ad or you reach out to them organically. They come to a landing page or your website where you present them with a call to action. The call to action is, book a phone call, download now, shop now, buy a course, something like that. And then after they buy, then you have a thank you page. So that's kind of what a sales funnel is. Now, you could build it yourself. You could use the Mastering Funnels. You could do it yourself. You could hire somebody to do it, but I don't necessarily know what the cost, you could use ClickFunnels to host it, but you're going to have to drive people to it. So what does a sales funnel cost? Well, it either is going to cost your time, your money, or your energy. Your time and money, specifically if you're coming up with ads and running ads, it's going to take your energy in making those ads as well. But you can fill it organically. You could do content like this. You can just put out content. You could do lives. You could do posts. You could DM people. But ultimately, what a sales funnel is it's a mechanism used to drive people down to your offer and present them with value along the way. And on top of that, what you're trying to do is kind of extract the people who don't want it. So you just want to be speaking to the main folks who are interested in your offer. So I think that's kind of the key when it comes to that. Now, I'm coming up against a hard stop here, and I didn't answer all of the questions. So what I will do is I'll save those for next week. How do you go about getting leads organically? And then, I'm new to running ads, ready to start, but where do I begin? So what I'll do is I will hold on to those comments for next week and we'll hop into that. I went on a little earlier than I thought, and this is taking longer, but I absolutely love it. So let me just wrap it up with this. Thank you to the folks who are watching on TikTok today. We're doing a TikTok live for the very first time. I am absolutely pumped. I love the engagement that this app is giving, and just the ability, what it's built. Tip of the hat to TikTok. And then thank you to everybody watching today on YouTube and on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on Twitch. Pumped that you just took some time out of your day. I hope that this was valuable to you. And then thank you to those people listening after the fact. And then thank you to the people who are listening, obviously, on Spotify as well. So if you want to learn more about Hacktics, if you want to learn more about Mastering Funnels and the coaching program that we put together, it is a do-it-yourself method with a 2-week free trial, absolutely to you, or 14 days money back guarantee, I should say. And then you can learn more about that. There's probably a link somewhere that you're seeing this now, or you can go to jasonwilmot.me or just learn more about our company at HACKTICS. That's Hacktics.com. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for the questions that you've asked. If I didn't get to them, I apologize. If you are watching this after the fact, drop a comment below, and then I will address that comment in the next podcast. But thank you so much. Be good to yourselves. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you in the next live. All right, take care, guys. Bye. Hey, this is Jason, and thank you for watching this video. If you want to watch more, go ahead and check out my channel and consider subscribing. If you want to listen to our weekly podcast, you can find us on Spotify with Mastering Funnels. Last, if you're a marketer or business owner looking to scale up your offer with data, paid ads, and ROI tracking, then you can learn more about us at Hacktics.com. That's HACKTICS.com. Thanks.